I just, ugh. Oh man, just can't get anything going 5-on-5, dude. Like every time like last year, the play that I hated was the one where they came 3 across the blue line, right, and tried to chip it to the side, and we're just getting stuffed constantly trying to get the puck into the zone. Well, now their new favorite thing to do, and it's everyone for some reason tonight. The second they get a cycle going, they try and get a shot, and they recover the puck in the corner, and then shooting these no-look backhand passes to nobody. And there was about 4 or 5 times the Canucks did it tonight in the offensive zone. And it was Kane, Garland. I can't remember who else did it. I think Carlson did one as well. And I don't know if it's like a coached play and someone's not getting to the front of the net where they're supposed to be or what's happening, but it happened way too often to be a coincidence to me. And to me, it's something to do with the coaching. And instead of getting a cycle going, they're told to get this cycle to the front of the net going. And if there's no one going there, they're just passing it to nobody. And the Jets were turning it back to go down the other end of the ice. And, it's I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss, right? You lose Demko, Hughes comes back, thank goodness. But again, just unable to generate much other than Besser getting the one with the goalie pulled late. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, good effort, gritty effort with Demko getting hurt and being able to get 33 shots on the Winnipeg net. But again, they failed to control Winnipeg's chaos offense. Special teams, again, the power play or the penalty kill, giving up 2 again tonight. So that's difficult. Right? Like the penalty kill is not doing well, and they miss Bluger terribly, but we've talked about it at great length about why it shouldn't be an issue when one guy is out of the lineup. It should not be the be all end all of your penalty kill. Like, it should not look this poor. And that's where it's like, okay, we're closing in on 20 games, right? Like, that was game 18. The Canucks are 8-9-1 now. And I still have a lot of questions about the deployment when it's, when there's issues later in the game. I didn't mind Sasson getting bumped up to second line center, but again, I've had an issue with Reichel being put into the center role when he hasn't done it, right? Like, yes, he's had some good games in that position, but he's going to have tough games against teams like this that are deeper up the middle, right? And it showed tonight in the faceoff dot, like 60 to 40%. I mean, Elias Pettersson struggled in the faceoff dot tonight. Pretty much everybody had a hard night in the faceoff dot. I think Sasson won his one faceoff that he took or something. So, obviously, up the middle is an issue. Yeah, I don't know, right? Like, because we're probably going to get a lot of excuses again from Foote in his post game. He's probably going to say, "Oh, there was a lot of good things there. The boys never quit. We played right till the end." But at the end of the day, they didn't come away with any points and nothing to show for it. And all we really got was an injury to Demko. A couple of Hughes assists, yay. We need wins, man. And we can't keep surviving with this 500 hockey. We're now second last in the Pacific Division. I mean, if the goal is for the sports gods to like give us finally a first overall pick, then hey, I'm here for it. But like, it's getting tough to like watch. I don't know if like maybe why JT Miller is so awful this year in New York is because he's too focused on all the little voodoo dolls he's got of his former teammates. Um, I swear he took like little tufts of hair from everyone's stall and he's the one in New York and he's just poking away at everyone one at a time every night. It's just unreal what we've gone through. I don't know. I don't know how Demko was even allowed to play tonight.
But so Dustin, correct me if I'm wrong, because somebody said it in chat earlier. Patera's still with the Canucks, right?
Yeah, they never got sent him down.
So how the hell do you have a guy up on an emergency basis for this long when you have the guy who was up for the emergency basis? Like, this doesn't make sense. The Canucks are full of shit, and Adam Foote is a terrible liar.
Right? Yep. And the whole thing was like, oh, he said, if he didn't play tonight, you guys would be mad at me. And it's like, well, no, we wouldn't. We just want you to be truthful about what's going on with Demko. Is he injured? And clearly he is. This isn't maintenance. This is an injury. Just tell us what's going on. But he's probably been mandated to not give anything away because guess what? A couple of idiots in the head office signed him to a 3-year, $8.5 million extension. I was against it before. I thought that they maybe should have given Shilovs a chance to be our goalie and just go into a rebuild, move on from Demko. And here we are, right? We could have used that cap space going into next year. $8.5 million towards Quinn Hughes is looking a lot better than $8.5 million towards a goalie that we might get 25, 30 games out of in the season. I'm just like, what? Man, the gross mismanagement of certain assets, like as much good as some of this management team has done, there's equally, or if not more bad. And we were supposed to have this 2-year window where we would be back as a Stanley Cup contender. Well, now it's 3 years later and we look like an absolute basement dweller. And injuries aside, there's no one to like hype this team up. We don't have anyone going out there and throwing a big hit. And it just frustrates me that, Dustin, you got
that's exactly what Shura did. He went out, laid him out on the corner, and it had zero effect.
I just don't get the identity of this team, man. You know what I mean? Like there's too many guys that just don't have the fight in them.
Well, that's the funny thing. When I had Zach on in the second intermission, he said our fourth line doesn't have an identity yet. And I was like, our fourth line's the only one that has a damn identity, and they play 6 minutes a night.
Yep.
20 games in, and they still don't trust these guys. I mean, I get not trusting Baines because I think Baines, like we always talk about, he's got the NHL hustle and the AHL skill, right? So he's a patchwork. He's only up here as a result of all the injuries, right? If Luckermax is healthy, Baines is not in this lineup, period, right?
Well, and Höglander too, right?
Yeah,
like
Höglander,
just
right?
need him back in this lineup for some depth on the wings. But even then, like, what elite players do we have on this team other than Quinn Hughes? And right now he's struggling to be elite because we have no one up front. And like, you can't, this is a cap max team. Like, we are cap maxed and we are one of the worst teams in the league. Like, what is going on, man? I don't get it. I'm so confused at the direction of this club, at the identity of this club. And this is why I was so cautious last game, right? Like, yeah, they managed to get 1 point against the best team in the league, but then you see tonight and it's like, come on, guys. Shots on goal are nice, but they got to be dangerous shots. It can't just be perimeter crap. And that's a lot of what we saw in the third period is perimeter shots, not getting to the middle until it was 6-on-5, right? And even with the man advantage, again, we're not going for the easy play to get shots on net and look for a rebound. We're trying to find the perfect plays again, and it's just frustrating. Just
So
dumb
here's
it down. Play smart, play simple, play quick, use your strengths, and just get the puck in the freaking net.
so here's Thatcher Demko's stats for his last 5 games. So he faced 27 shots against Minnesota, let in 4 goals, 8.52 save percentage. And against Nashville, he allowed 4 goals on 29 shots, 8.62 save percentage. And then if I bring up the stats from tonight, he allowed 3 goals on 8 shots for a 6.25 save percentage. And if you are telling me anything other than his popliteus has popped again, right? Like, this is the thing, is when he was recovering from this, one of the things we talked about was he may have to just get used to playing with pain. And so an example I used the other night when I was on with Tyler and the line change and Gerald and Swerve and Irvin, there was a whole crew there. When PD, or EP40, I should specifically say, because we have 3 PDs, when his knee was messed up, it's like having a Ferrari with a bald tire, right? For certain players, pain in a certain area is going to absolutely mess you up. JT Miller, if he has knee pain, doesn't matter. That man is a smash and crash kind of guy, right? Pedersen is a guy who needs to be feeling good, especially when it comes to those parts of his bodies. Thatcher Demko clearly has not been feeling good, because if we look at his stats once more, going all the way back to the beginning of this month, his save percentage fell off a cliff. When you look at it too, even having him play both Minnesota and the Nashville game with 1 day in between after he gave up 4 goals and they lost, right? It just does it, like, he has clearly been dealing with something this entire month. And that's after saying he's only played 9 games this year through October.
Well, and it was after the collision with Elias Pettersson when he came sliding backwards into the net, blades first. Oh boy. And like, we're seeing regression out of some guys now. And that's what concerns me when it comes to coaching staff. When we're starting to see Elias Pettersson on the point regressing a bit. Yes, Wielander's starting to shine, but that's a young guy who's looking to make a name for himself, has a ton of skill, and is just kind of doing his thing, right? Like, when he does good stuff, we're going to be happy. And if he makes a mistake or two, we're going to like brush it off because he's young, right? And so it just frustrates me when we look at, DPD doesn't look great right now. Even Marcus Pettersson is making boneheaded mistakes that we don't normally see him make. He's supposed to be this solid veteran defenseman that's, pretty clutch and doesn't make those mistakes in his own end, but we've been seeing it more and more. And I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, is it the coaching? And I know that's a lame excuse. I know it is. But at this point, we're getting close to those 20 games. And I don't want to use that as an excuse, because I don't want to sound biased, because I was concerned about the coaching when they were hired. But at this point, when you see the sample size and you see the inability to properly deploy the players that they have with or without injury, it just makes me wonder what the future is in the next couple of months for this team. Like, what is good for this team, right? Like, what is the measuring stick? What do they expect? I mean, you hear Alvin talking and saying we're 1 or 2 away from a contender, and it's like, we could be if they're built right and put in the right situations and coached properly. I mean, you look at our roster and you look at the coaching that's going on here, and you look at the leap that the Anaheim Ducks have made from last year to this year, and you think about the difference of the resume that the coach that was hired has. And, the guy who has 3 Stanley Cups and 2 gold medals has his team in first place and scoring goals at a ridiculous clip and playing out of their minds together as a team. He has Jake Trouba bought back into NHL hockey. Like, the Anaheim Ducks are a wagon. Like, and they're not beating the bad teams. this weekend they beat Vegas. They beat the Jets, I think, were one of their victims. Like, they're beating the top teams in the league. They have, I think, the most goals for in the Pacific Division. So their goals for versus against differential is ridiculous. But that's what happens when you hire a coach that knows what they're doing and has a pedigree of winning, especially when you're in a situation that the Canucks are in where they need some sort of structure. And when you're in this much shambles as an organization, you can't have a rookie coach trying to right the ship because he's trying to learn too. And it's just going to be a nightmare. And that's what I was worried about. And here we are, one game below 500, and we're just floundering. We just flounder through games, right? Like, everyone's trying their butt off, but the structure isn't working. The system isn't working. It worked against AHL teams in the preseason and gave a false sense of success to the Canucks coaching. And then when push came to shove and all the good players got in and you can't just play that style, the coaches were lost. And their head coach is Adam Foote, right? So he's the most responsible for it. We don't know what he said. We don't know what the conversations are between him and his assistant coaches, right? Like, we have no idea. But for someone who's supposed to be such a great defensive coach and have the best PK specialist on his league, I mean, to be 32nd in the league in defense, in defensive stats over this season so far, I mean, that's coaching, right? Like, it all comes down to coaching. And so we can blame the injuries, we can blame a lot of things, but the deployment just hasn't been there. We've seen it night after night, and it looks at times like it starts to wear on players. Tonight, again, we saw O'Connor and DeBrusque down the same side of the ice, just constantly all night, and the whole other side wide open. And Winnipeg can get out of their own end, no problem, because there's no winger over there forechecking or creating any sort of a problem for the Jets winger on that side. So we saw it all night. The Jets getting back out of their zone easy. Just see you later, because there's two lines with wingers that play the same freaking side that have no idea where they're supposed to go. And you can see it. You just have to look at what's going on out there and be like, this is chaos. This is so discombobulated. It's like really unorganized hockey, and it's getting hard to watch because they're getting lucky because of the effort they're putting in. That's the problem, right? Like, the guys are trying. I'm not trying to crap on the team because the guys are trying. That's why they're even in these games. But the system that they're trying to run and the structure and the positions that they're putting these players in is not the best positions for success. And it's just really frustrating. And I don't know what other word to put other than it's just frustrating at this point.
Just before we get to the 3 stars, Connor Cahill says those long shots against Hellebuyck were pointless. But I don't know if I agree with you on this one, Connor Cahill, because Brock Besser scored as the result of a long shot on Connor Hellebuyck. Connor Hellebuyck was fighting the puck tonight, and he did manage to win the game, so props to him. However, the Besser goal to make it a 1-goal game was the result of Petey taking a shot from far out and then a rebound coming out and having someone actually in the right spot, in a bumper spot, which is a crazy concept, you know? Maybe we should try that on the power play. It might work. And Besser scores. So yes, I get it. Throwing pucks on him, if you just throw it on him and it's easy and he sees it, he can stop it. But in that situation, it's not a bad idea to throw a puck on net, right? So thank you for the $2
That's the
donut.
difference is shooting from distance with a purpose, right? Like, what I have a problem with is those like off foot kind of half speed, just flick it through feet, just trying to get it through to bumper pinball in. It's like, no, get a hard shot through traffic. Like, try and create a shot lane for yourself. Don't just half-ass lazy it to the net and be like, someone else. Maybe I'll get a rebound. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll get a deflection in. It's like, no. Be like, I'm going to shoot for the far side. If it deflects, great. If it hits his pad, it might get a rebound out to the player that's there. Like, there just needs to be more planning. There's no rhythm or foresight. It just feels like if we get lucky and get a goal, good. There's no real like this is what we're gonna do to get to score in this situation, and I think that's where it's become a bit disjointed and it's getting a bit difficult to watch because again, there's that no real identity, not even in the sense of like, what is this team? It's like, what is this structure that they're running, right? Like, it's this adaptive hockey just looks like every man for themselves out there. And that might work for you on some nights against the fledgling teams, but against these actual playoff teams, I mean, they're just going to make you pay.
Connor Cahill throwing another toonie in the chat. Paragon Pro, I told you we needed Laviolette. He's got his hands in there.
Laviolette can coach offense, but his defensive structure is kind of becoming a bit archaic. And, I think he just aged himself out of the league a bit. Not to say that he won't be back, but maybe he needed a bit of time off. Again, there's a ton of fantastic coaching candidates out there. But we'll just have to see where the next couple of games go. I mean, if this road trip goes really poorly, I can't see them continuing with this coaching staff. It just feels to me like they were given 20 games and management is going to go to Quinn and be like, Quinn, are you enjoying yourself? Nope. Well, we need to change the coach because that seems to be the only way to right this ship. And I mean, that might be the way to get him rebought in. I don't know. But right now it's not looking like he's going to want to be here for very much longer, regardless of him having his best friend as the head coach, right? Like, I don't know.
3 stars of the game,
I don't know what
Dustin.
the answer is right now.
What are the 3 stars of the game, Dustin?
Oh, let's see. Probably Josh Morrissey, first star. He had a goal and 2 assists. Pretty good night. And then we'll go. Let's see here. Elias Pettersson had a couple of assists. Quinn Hughes had 1, 2, 3 assists tonight. So we'll go Quinn Hughes, second star. Mm-hmm. And they probably gave it to Hellebuck for third star or something stupid.
Mm-hmm. They sure did. You nailed it as usual. Dustin Boydell nails the 3 stars. You're like a savant when it comes to the 3 stars. I don't really understand why Hellebuck is there because he's not the reason this team won. He did not look great, right? It's not like he faced like a bunch of extra shots. So, but I mean, yeah, I guess if you're having a hard time deciding, why not just throw it at the winning goalie? So, should we pile on our viewers by telling them about the Abbotsford Canucks?
Oh, I don't know. Do you guys feel like crying tonight?
Okay, I'll give you 30 seconds on the Abbotsford Canucks.
All right. Well, after it became 2-0, it went to the second period and became 5-0, and then it went to the third period and became 7-0. And the San Jose Barracuda have defeated the Abbotsford Canucks 7-0, and the poor Abbotsford Canucks are just as injury riddled as the Vancouver Canucks and need some help. So, when everyone's healthy, hopefully things will be brighter, but this is definitely the darkest timeline for the Vancouver Canucks organization right now.
And it's not like
how'd I do?
That's great. I mean, and you look at it because there was the one game where they only got 10 shots on net. It's not like that didn't happen, right? They still got 27 shots on net, right? But what it comes down to, they just don't have the pieces down there to put the puck in the net. Right?
Yeah, they just don't have any real elite prospects, no elite scorers. I mean, Lekermaki's gone. Like I said, everyone got promoted at the same time. 11 guys from the Calder Cup final team got promoted into the NHL or went elsewhere to other teams. So there's really not much left in the cupboard. And we're in a weird transition period where our elite prospects are all 18 years old and playing in juniors still. So we keep a close eye on what's happening in juniors, but there's that weird gap where they're not old enough to play in the AHL and they're not quite skilled enough to play in the NHL. So they're just kind of lighting it up in the juniors. Like Braden Coots is playing unreal this year in Seattle. Anthony Romani is also doing really well with his junior team.
Gabriel Chabot looks
Medvedev
good.
down in London Knights is playing well in net. So I mean, it's just a weird time for Canucks, right? Everyone says they want to go into a rebuild, but we don't have the assets to do that, because when you want to rebuild, you want to regain more first round picks. Who can the Canucks trade right now for a first round pick other than maybe Kiefer Sherwood? There's not a lot of people on this roster that'll get a first round pick back. Kiefer Sherwood, Quinn Hughes are probably the only two right this second that you could trade and get a first round pick back for next year's draft, which is the deep draft. Obviously, the lower you finish in the standings, the better your chances are at the Gavin McKenna sweepstakes. You also run the risk of, does Gavin McKenna want to terminate his NCAA contract that he's signed, where he's getting paid basically the same as an entry-level contract? So you're going to have to sweeten the deal to even pull him away from that college contract for 3 years. So that's where, with those rule changes, the first overall pick next year could come with a weird caveat that almost gives more power to that draft pick than the team. So, what is the answer? Is it a rebuild? Is it retool? I think just they've tried to win so much on the fly since 2011. Like, I think Aquilini's got a taste of being one game away, and they've wanted to get back there so badly that they've sacrificed so much of the future of this club that we are just in a tough spot right now where, yes, if we're healthy, we probably have a competitive team, but we said it kind of in the offseason, everything has to go right for this Canucks team. And right now, the exact opposite is happening. So maybe it's this Canucks team can flounder at 500 and January comes and they go on a run like the Abbotsford Canucks did last year, and we're talking in April about a playoff team. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but right now it's pretty dismal, and it doesn't look like this road trip's going to be very much fun.
No. Abbey Canucks play San Jose again tomorrow immediately, so we'll see if they can do better than 7-0. And then the Vancouver Canucks next game is against the Carolina Hurricanes. So they're going on the road. 2-day gap, right? So maybe we can get, what some of these bodies that we're practicing back in the lineup. Dustin, you're going to be here for the game on the 14th or no?
The Friday, yes, I will be here.
Okay, yeah. Perfect. Because after that, I want you to explain to the viewers why you're going to be missing games for the next week.
I'm sorry, chat. I every year now I get invited to go play with a bunch of friends and one of our golf pro buddies in a pro-am in Las Vegas. It's called Vegas Baby. We have we play 3 different golf courses, and we play like some of the nicest courses in Las Vegas. This year we're playing South Shore, which is like the 4th best private course in Nevada. We're playing Spanish Trail, and we're playing Cascada, which has a really cool clubhouse with like a river running through the clubhouse. It's really neat. But they take the 2 best scores from your team every hole on each course. But then there's little different games each or different formats, not games, each day. So on like par 3s and par 5s, they'll take 3 of your best scores, and your team's a 5. And it's just like a really fun time. There's some high handicap players that come play. It's all like team score and team format. So you combine everyone's handicap and everyone's scores to make it a little more even. And then, the winning teams each day get a little bit of American spending cash to go either out for dinner or hit the tables and have a little fun, have some drinks. And it's just a really fun time to get away in November when it's a little cold and rainy, and use the golf clubs one more time before putting them away for the winter until spring break of next year.
Nice. Should be a lot of fun for you down there.
Yes. So I will be leaving Sunday afternoon and I will be back on Thursday. But I don't land till 5:30 in Vancouver. And so getting home from Vancouver Airport in time for the game on Thursday night might be a pinch. So we likely will miss the 16th, 17th, and 20th games, but we will be back in full force after that. So don't you worry. And maybe if you're lucky, if Russ is doing Be a Pro on Tuesday night, we might actually go attend the Vegas Knights versus the New York Rangers game. So maybe we can do a little live check-in from T-Mobile Arena if that happens.
That sounds like fun. You'll be back for the game against the Calgary Flames, which hopefully the Canucks can win, but we'll see what happens after this. The Gauntlet Game 2. Is there anything you want to say to chat before I let you go, my dude?
Chat, I hope everyone had a great day. I hope the Canucks didn't ruin your day too much. Enjoy the rest of your week. 2-day break from the Canucks and from us. And we will be back on Friday to cover that Canes game. Hopefully the Canucks can have a little better start again. And yeah, it's going to be tough. Maybe Bluger's back. Maybe Mancini draws into the lineup. They both practice, or Mancini practice, not Bluger. Leckermacky and Mancini both practiced in full practice today. So maybe some relief is coming. Leckermacky can maybe get in the lineup. Maybe that pushes Baines out of the lineup. Who knows? But we definitely hope for some brighter things in the next game. Appreciate all the questions, all the comments, as always. Appreciate the love. Russ, appreciate you. Everything you do, your production is great. I wouldn't obviously wouldn't be doing this without you. And hope you enjoy the rest of your week as well, bro.
I wouldn't be able to do it without you either, brother. I'll talk to you on, well, I mean, we always chat, but I will talk to you
Absolutely
like this on Friday.
Yes, sir. 4 p.m. start. We will be there.
Nothing is perfect.